Hello everybody, Josh12 back here again with a brand new video for today, and today I'm here to talk about the latest and final trailer to Dragon Ball Super Broly the movie. My god. Today was a very interesting day. I did not expect any of this to happen. I have been completely in the dark when it comes to researching this movie or paying attention to spoilers. It's coming out relatively soon. There's really no point in it. But my god, today was so good in terms of this trailer. This trailer has been... let's stop beating around the bush. The fucking movie is going to be a it's going to be a cinematic adventure to remember. Even if the movie stinks on ice, which it more than likely has the capabilities of being, it's still going to be a spectacle in terms of its visual content. It's going to be the greatest looking movie in the Dragon Ball franchise. Probably will be the standard that everything after this will have to live up to. This trailer blew my freaking head open. It looks so freaking good. I mean, my god. There are words that have not been invented. I have the disability, the incapability of pronouncing such words that could properly show off how good this freaking trailer is in terms of its visual content. I mean, if there were ever things to truly live long enough to witness in your lifetime, this movie's one of them. and as douchey and as cringy as that statement is, and as much as it probably disgusts my girlfriend who fucking gets annoyed at this shit that hypes me so much and I love so much, it's the truth. That's how I feel. It's so good. The trailer was so good, and granted, regardless of any nitpicks or criticisms, I think every trailer for this movie has been fantastic. One after the other have just been one-upping each other, and this trailer's no different. And granted, it's the last, so it has to like give you the money shots, and my god, did this trailer give you the money shots. It's pretty much just the action trailer. The last trailer was story and lore and mythology. This trailer is like, fuck that noise, let's get into the action, let's get into the fucking money shots, motherfucker. Here's Broly, here's Goku, here's Vegeta, here's Super Saiyan transformations up the fucking yin-yang, here's fucking full-powered fucking Broly with the fucking 20-pack and the giant biceps and it's fucking insanity. And fucking insanity, I say. It's such a good-looking trailer. That's pretty much the great scheme. I mean, like, saying it's a good-looking trailer or a good-looking movie is an understatement. It's fucking good-looking. It's so good that I can't stop cursing at how much I love the visual. The visuals, my god, they're so good. But you know what? Hey, every single person and their mother by the time this video gets uploaded to my YouTube channel, every single person and their fucking secondhand cousin has probably already stated the obvious when it comes to this trailer. They pretty much broke it down, they analyzed it, they told you all the spoilers, all the good shit. Regardless of any of these things, I have my own personal bullet points that I like to get into. I mean, granted, look, I can sit here and say all the normal shit that I've pretty much gone on through. It is what it is. I love the trailer. It's a great trailer. It's really good looking. It's a spectacle. I mean, it's the best looking Dragon Ball anything that I've ever seen in the history of me being a fan of this franchise. This is really the pinnacle of what Dragon Ball can be and can look like when it has a legitimate budget with legitimate artists working on it. Not that anybody else before it was not legitimate, it's just that they really took the time to make this movie look fucking brilliant, and my god does it look brilliant. The characters, the designs, the visuals, the action sequences, the CGI, just the color palette, everything's beautiful when it comes to this trailer. Now, but with that being said, I do have some bullet points, so let's get into it. Number one, Vegeta Super Saiyan God mode. Yes, we finally get our first like real anime introduction to Vegeta Super Saiyan God mode. And for me personally, this is a mixed bag for me, because even though the entirety of the fan base, and when I say the entirety of the fan base, legitimately the entirety of the fan base, especially the Vegeta fans, have obviously let this go. They've pretty much have done their best to really make sure that this piece of content, this idea, this concept of Vegeta Super Saiyan God not only is possible, but makes sense. I'm here to say, I don't fucking think so. For me personally, look, I get it. Vegeta, he did in the manga. You know, it's referenced in the anime that he can kind of do it probably. But you know what? Hey, my personal belief is that he never could do it. Same thing with Super Saiyan 3. Granted, it doesn't matter anymore. There are higher transformations that obviously outdate said transformations, like obviously blue, and then there's evolution, and then there's Ultra Instinct, so all these things are relative. But at the end of the day, I've never liked the idea of Vegeta transforming into a Super Saiyan God, because it just never made any sense to me. I mean, like, a Super Saiyan, like, becoming a Super Saiyan God, you can't achieve on your own. You can't achieve through sheer training. And anybody who tries to tell you that is bullshitting you, because it's just not possible. I mean, it's the crux of the entire third act battle in Battle of Gods. It's the sole purpose of the concept of the transformation, is that you can't achieve it on your own. You have to go through a ritual. And until I see an actual, like, visual adaptation of Vegeta going through the same ritual that Goku did, I can't consider him being Super Saiyan God legitimate. But you know what? It's a dying battle at this point. It's a dying argument. It's a dying discussion. So, and they put it in the movie, so they're like, hey, fuck you. But I don't know. Even though it doesn't really bother me, deep down inside, in the deep reaches and bowels of my soul, it kind of kills me inside. But you know what? Hey, it is what it is. And of course, seeing Super Saiyan God mode is not a bad thing, especially in the way it looks in this movie. Because my God, the way Vegeta and Goku look in Super Saiyan God mode is fucking incredible. It looks so good. The best that transformation has ever looked since Battle of Gods to now. It's definitely a hard feat to try and make that transformation look badass, but they did it in this trailer. Moving off of that, the next thing is Frieza's design. This has been something that's kind of like been tossed away and underlooked when it comes to a lot of people's personal thoughts on the trailer. For me personally, I caught it the second I saw it, which was Frieza's design. If you go back and check out the second trailer to the Super Broly movie, the Frieza was an interesting topic for discussion, specifically because of his design. He looked definitely a lot different than how we've seen him in the past. In this trailer, they decided to change it, and I don't know why that was. My guess is it's either because of these two reasons. Either A, they got a lot of criticisms because of Frieza's design in the last trailer, which is most likely not true. The second, which is more plausible, if you will, they probably just weren't done rendering and designing the characters by the time they sent out that trailer so many months ago. So now they just decided, let's put in some extra little features here and there. So there's that. But hey, it is what it is. If you compare and contrast, if you grab this trailer screenshot and compare it to the last one, Frieza clearly has a design change. In the last trailer, he was all pink with no armor. In this trailer, he has the armor. So it is what it is. Moving off of that, the throwback to the first ever teaser trailer that we saw when it regards to this movie. Now, this is, of course, going back a ways, because the first teaser trailer we got, we didn't know anything about this movie. We didn't know Broly was in it. We didn't know it was Broly-centric. We didn't know who was going to be involved. All we knew was that it was the Dragon Ball Super movie. And in this part in the trailer, we get a perfect thread line through the trailers to this one moment where Goku and Broly first meet and will battle. And my God, does it look beautiful. It's an action scene to behold, if you will. I mean, it's really almost like a spaghetti western. You have the standoff, you have the antagonist on top of the mountain, on top of the world, if you will, and of course our protagonist, who is at the bottom, has to work his way up to defeat him in the most badass way possible, which is tearing off the fucking jackets, because that's how you prove you're a badass. You tear off your gear and you go in head first into oblivion. But regardless of any of that, it's just really cool to see just the throwback to that first teaser trailer we got when we saw Goku facing off this unknown powerful Saiyan, who we all assumed was an original character, or more than likely the fan theory, which was it was Yamoshi, which was, you know, everybody's classic favorite character that nobody really knows who the fuck that is. But it wasn't him. It was actually Broly. Everybody's favorite character to love and hate, if you will. Like, everything Broly does in this trailer is amazing. I mean, like, love or hate the guy, he just defines these core words. Epic, savage, beast. He originated those words. It's just, he's Broly, you know, love or hate him, he's Broly. Moving off of that, we got some interesting questions. And I don't know, even as I'm recording this, I still don't know how I feel about it. There's an aspect where I kind of like it, and then there's another part of me that's like, I don't know how to feel. I don't really like it at all. and that is, of course, Whis versus Broly. Whis starts to throw down. I don't know how I feel about this at all. I don't know, because there's a part of me that feels like, yeah, fan service. Let's get some Whis and Beerus action. But you know what? This movie is going in a specific trajectory to the point where, like, I don't know if I care enough to see Whis fighting Broly. Not to mention, I feel like if Whis gets into the battle, it does more harm than good, in my personal opinion. I mean, sure, we can look at it as, well, Whis is the type of guy who's like, I'm not going to get involved because I'm not allowed to, even though that's kind of a lie because he gets involved a lot. However, it's always cool to see him fight because of how powerful he is, but it just opens up, I feel like, a whole bunch of problems that I don't think a lot of people are looking that deeply into, because think about it this way. If Whis fights Broly and Broly defeats Whis, then that's just completely stupid. And then if Goku and Vegeta, or Goku and Vegeta collectively defeat Broly, then will that make Goku and Vegeta more powerful than Whis? And then that starts its own fair share of problems. So, I don't know. For me personally, I don't know how to feel about the possibility of Whis fighting Broly. Now, granted, this is just several screenshots in the trailer. We don't know exactly the context of the sequences. It could be very early in the movie. It could be the last act of the movie, the last battle, if you will, or it could be good old-fashioned trailer trickery. But if I had to speculate on what I saw, it looks a lot like Whis fighting Broly, and I don't know how I feel about that. For me, this movie is promoting one singular thing: a Saiyan showdown. It's a throwdown between the three biggest and strongest Saiyans in the franchise: Goku, Vegeta, and Broly. They're the best of the best. They're the strongest out of all the Saiyan characters in this series, and they're the fan favorites out of all the Saiyans. So they're the fan favorites, and love or hate it, that's what this movie's promoting. That's what this movie's building towards. These three characters, their sagas, their arcs, their mythologies, their history coming to a head, coming to a giant, epic, biblical battle. That's what this movie, and especially these trailers, have been promoting to us. So the fact that all these other characters are getting involved in the conflict, I don't know how to feel about that. I don't like that. For me, look, I get it. People love these characters. People love Whis, they love Beerus, they love Piccolo, they love Gohan, they love Goten and Trunks, they love Bulma, they love all these fucking characters. And that's cool, and I love them too, and I'm not trying to disrespect the fan bases of these individual characters, but for me, I'm going into this movie for Goku versus Broly versus Vegeta. This three-way battle between these three epic, legendary warriors, that is what I'm going into this movie wanting to see. I don't care about Whis getting involved in Broly. I don't care about Frieza fighting Broly. I'm here to watch Goku and Vegeta fight Broly. But with that being said, who really knows? So, with that being said, we get into another very interesting tidbit in the trailer, and of course, very interesting question, which is Broly a bad guy? Is Broly a villain in this movie? Now, obviously, for all intents and purposes, he's obviously the main opponent for Goku and Vegeta. He's also the main antagonist, if you will. However, there's an interesting part in the trailer where Goku and Broly are fighting. Goku's in God mode, and as he's in mid-attack, he's narrating throughout the trailer. Multiple characters are narrating, but Goku specifically goes out of his way, and I'm paraphrasing, but he goes out of his way to state that Broly is not a bad guy. That he can tell that he's not the bad guy. And also, more dialogue beyond that shows off that he's not fighting because he wants to. So basically, from what I take away from that, is that Broly, as most people have been speculating, and what I personally have been kind of hoping, because of all the hype regarding Broly and this specific incarnation of Broly, that he's not necessarily a bad guy. And I feel like this is Toriyama's way of rewriting the character, because Broly, when you look at that old movie, when you take it out of context and you've kind of like shift some things, you can kind of make him a sympathetic character. It's hard to do that because by the time you get into the major battles, he's a psychopath with no real character development. He's just a wacko, psychopath monster. But in the context of this trailer, in the context of this movie, I'm guessing Broly's kind of a sympathetic bad guy, and he's not even really a bad guy. He's just a sympathetic antagonist, kind of similar to how Jiren was in the Tournament of Power. Like, Jiren wasn't really a classical villain the same way like Frieza is, or like how Goku Black was. He's just a guy who's in a position where he's on the opposite side of Goku and the rest of the gang. So, and also, you have to consider this and keep this in context, that he's being controlled. And also because he's so powerful and he continues to build upon his own power, maybe being controlled by his father to do things that he may or may not care about or be interested in, not to mention him becoming more and more powerful as the battles continue, just morphs him into what we are perceiving to be a bad guy. There's a lot of possibilities with Broly after this movie, and I'm very much looking forward to it, but you just never know. I mean, with a character as powerful as Broly, the possibilities of making him sane is very unlikely, so the chances of him dying are high. But with this little narration, this little piece of dialogue definitely opens up the idea that he could stick around longer than just this one movie, which I'm okay with. The last question of the day, which is Goku and Vegeta, and it also opens up a question that lots of people have been speculating, lots of people have been hinting at, a lot of people have been just saying, this is going to happen. I'm telling you now, this is going to happen. And apparently the big question and the big answer that people have been hinting and alluding to is the possibility of fusion, that Goku and Vegeta will possibly fuse to take down Broly, and that's the ultimate takedown of Broly. I'm fine with that. There's no real evidence. If you look at the trailer, you can look at it at face value and say, well, I guess it's going to be fusion, but there's no real evidence in the trailer itself that hints that that could be the case. But I'm not doubting it. But of course the big question is, well, who? Will it be Vegeta? Will it be Gogeta? More or less, people are hinting towards Gogeta being the main guy. For me personally, I've always liked Gogeta, and I've kind of always liked him a little bit more than Vegito. I think they're both great, and they're both powerful, and obviously Vegito has the edge in terms of power. But Gogeta, I mean, just his one scene alone and in that Janemba movie just really tells it as it is. So for them to do that here could be really cool, but then again, there's not really any real evidence in the trailer that's hinting towards that, but you just never know. That's just really the big question that a lot of people have been asking and have kind of been alluding that will end up happening. But for me, I don't mind either way. To be honest, the major fan service that I'm looking towards in terms of like the final act battle is just full on Ultra Instinct Goku fighting full powered Broly. Just give me that, and I can leave the theater happy. It could be a shit story, and if I have that, I'm like, okay. You know, the story was shit, but hey, that moment, that made my day. But you know what? Hey, that's pretty much it. That's my official thoughts on this trailer. This trailer was magnificent. It was beautiful. I love the visuals, the scope, the scale. This movie, even if the story is trash, this movie will just be spectacle-wise, scope and scale, design, art, animation, just full on the way a Dragon Ball movie should be. It just feels like it's really going to be the next big spectacle and standard for this franchise. And who knows how they're ever going to try and live up to it in the future. But that last shot is just awesome. This trailer was awesome. So with that being said, I'm really happy. I'm really excited. Can't wait to see the movie once it comes out. But with that being said, I hope you enjoyed. Subscribe to the channel if you've not done so already. I'd really appreciate that. And this has been John 12.